Hello and welcome to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Zee, where we share everyday stories with you, everyday women. Are you ready to hear heart-to-heart key issues that we all face, no matter where we are in the world? So grab your cup of tea and let's welcome your host, author, international speaker, reinvention strategist, and woman that's full of faith in God and mankind.
Hello, and welcome. This has been an interesting day. This is the second time we've started this, but you are welcome. We need to chin up and carry on. Last week, on the 5th of January, last Friday, we spoke about resilience. And so today, we're going to be talking about curveballs, birthdays and curveballs. Now, for those of you that started at 7 o'clock, you could see a bit of technical issues. So I had to quickly come offline, and I think I fixed the problem. So we are now back to talk about birthdays and curveballs. Now, you will know that I recently celebrated a lovely birthday. I was in Portugal for just under a week, and I had a phenomenal time. It was, whoever it is that's just signing on, thank you. I can see you. Thank you for watching me, wherever you're watching me from, whether you're on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Thank you so much for coming back. Yes, as I was saying, I had a beautiful birthday time. My birthday was on Monday, the 8th of January, and I kind of secretly went away to Portugal and had a lovely time. It was a holiday for one, me, myself, and I and God. And it was amazing. You know, these are my legacy years, and I'm really beginning to appreciate the life that God has given me and appreciate that nothing is guaranteed. So I had a lovely time. On the 9th, I did the planning webinar, second one, the encore birthday special, planning with me, strategic planning with me, Dr. Zee. And we talked about scenario planning and all the different things you need to do, strategic analysis for planning to ensure that you're able to crush your goals for this year. But I won't go into that. For those that attended, you will get a copy of the replay in your mailbox. So just wanted to put that in. So I had a lovely time. And then towards the end of this amazing holiday, for one, I had a curveball. I can't share too much about it now because it doesn't just affect me, it affects other people. And in terms of confidentiality and privacy for us, I won't share. But as things develop, you will get to hear. But it has sort of put a bit of a damper on where I am right now. But if I am talking about extraordinary women or everyday women doing extraordinary things around the world, and we talked about resilience last week, and I always like to show up as me. I like to be as authentic as possible. I was in two minds. I had a lovely guest that was going to be on today, and bless her heart, the amazing Valerie Oakley. Hopefully we'll be together next week. She's all the way in sunny California, and we were supposed to be talking today, but she felt that, you know, maybe this today wasn't a right time. And I thought, yes, but I thought about it a bit more, and I thought, no. Authenticity and showing up and being consistent is where the camera's on or the camera's not on, and it's whether the things are going good or things are not going too good. And like I always like to say, wherever you are around the world, we all go through all sorts of challenges, but we are not alone. So I am absolutely thrilled to be here, although the enemy tried to kind of, mess up the technology, probably trying to reflect how I was feeling, but I am back. So I just want to talk a little bit about, curveballs. If this was a Zoom, I would ask someone to put their hand up in the chat, who knows what a curveball is. But a curveball basically is when a ball that is supposed to be going in a straight line, it knows where it's going, it knows where its destination, things are all hunky-dory, and all of a sudden you get a curveball and things kind of go out of whack, out of sync, and really take you quite by surprise, and sometimes can be really traumatic, depending on what kind of curveball it is. But the question I have for you and for myself as well is, what do we do when life throws us curveballs? Sometimes we like to say, when life throws you lemons, we make lemonade. But what do we do? And if you've got any questions or you want any comments, please put them wherever it is that you're watching from. Put them on, and I'll see the comments here in the stream room, and I'll answer your questions or comments as much as I can. But the most important thing is that we need to look for ways to uplift ourselves. The first thing you need to do is that you need to ensure, not just you, me, all of us, we need to ensure that when life throws us curveballs, we have the right people around us to encourage us, to lift us up, to give us encouraging words for those that are women or men of faith, to pray for you, whatever that might be, to hold you up. So that's really important. I've been very, very fortunate that this week, lots of different people that I'm very, very close to, my closest network have been holding me up. So that's fantastic. And as they're holding me up, I'm holding up other people. So all that's fantastic. Another thing, and I'm just looking at my notes here that I think will be helpful, is that when you're faced with bad news, whatever that might be, when you're faced with a curveball, it's important that you don't isolate yourself and put yourself, under the duvet and feel woe is me and all that. It's important that you keep going. You keep going because, you keep going. You're alive. God has been so gracious and merciful to give you that gift of life. So you need to keep going because someone is watching you somewhere. Someone is watching how you react when curveballs come. It's really amazing. We all know how to react when, things go our way. You're like me, I had a lovely birthday. I traveled, was on the beach, was doing lots of amazing things. And the hotel, the lovely retreat that I stayed in, what do they call it? Lovely retreat. I've forgotten what they're called. The lovely place I stayed in. It was a lovely, lovely, lovely place I stayed in Faro, in Albufeira, in Faro, in Portugal. They were absolutely superb. They treated me like a queen. I mean, I am a queen, but they treated me like the queen that I am. Nothing was too much for them to do. When I had my planning event, the lighting, because I wasn't in my home, wasn't in my studio, so I didn't have my ring lights and all that. They ensured that they got different lightings for me, so I could ensure that as much as possible, the event would be bright and people wouldn't be in darkness and they could see me, and that was fantastic. There was nothing there. I mean, they wined me, they dined me. They got a birthday cake for me. I didn't know anyone, so this was amazing. Got a birthday cake for me and sang happy birthday. I got a bottle of champagne in my room. Oh my days, it was to die for. Did I want to come home? No, I didn't. But I guess, you come back to reality because you have to face reality. And that's the next thing. Don't run away. I mean, I didn't run away because obviously the curveball that I'm referring to, that I haven't really spoken about or given too much details about yet, and I won't be doing that. Like I said earlier on, if you were at the beginning, it doesn't just affect me. But the curveball that I'm talking about, it happened towards the end of my birthday week. And so I was able to, I was on the beach, so I was able to kind of go to the beach every morning, take in deep breaths. I'm like, okay, Lord, I got this. Whatever comes, I got this. And when you have curveballs as well, whatever that might be, it's a reminder that it's also an opportunity for growth. Like I said earlier on, the way that you react, everyone's watching you, how you react. Are you reacting gracefully or ungracefully? And it doesn't matter because emotions are emotions, but someone is taking strength or encouragement or inspiration or motivation or comfort from the way that you react with your curveball. And so I'm acutely aware of that. Like I said, when I was talking about my birthday, I'm acutely aware that I'm a January baby. And like many other January babies like me, I set the tone all over the world. We set the tone for the rest of the year. So we need to come into the year with positivity, with, fantastic energy. If you're a woman of faith like me, with prayers, with the Holy Spirit and whatever it is that works to ensure that people around you are able to move forward with not just gratitude, but with joy, even when things are not looking too great. So I'm acutely aware of that. I won't call it weight on my shoulder, but I try my best every year to go into the new year with a bang. And then when it's my birthday, a week after the new year, I'm all over the place. You would think that I was 10 years old. You wouldn't think that I was in my legacy years. Every single social media platform, you'll see some picture of me, some video of me, something really showing up to really shine and say that I'm so grateful to God to be alive, but also to give other people the power, the energy, the gumption, the drive to show up on their days, whatever that might be. Your birthday is a special day, just like mine is. And I also want us to take a moment to, when you have curveballs, to acknowledge them. Don't, how will I say, keep your head up or bury your head in the sand and be in denial. I have this curveball and I can't afford to be in denial. It is what it is. But hello, Doc. Oh, my darling cuz. How are you, darling? How are you? Oh, I can see you. You're listening from LinkedIn. Hello, Dr. Falashade. Lovely to see you. So when life shows you curveballs, it's really important that you show up as authentic as possible. It's really fantastic. It's easy to wear the makeup and the eyeshadow and the eyelashes and all that and say, yes, it's all great. But when things aren't that great, even if you're not sharing what they are at the time, at least you still remember that there are other people that need your guidance, that need your help. For me, I'm acutely aware that I'm like a spiritual mother to so many people. So I have to show up with grace. And like I said, the situation is not something I can share right now yet. But what I can say is that when life throws you lemons, even at the end of your birthday, fantastic birthday, and happy birthday, Dr. Falashade. I remember you had a lovely birthday in December, so happy birthday, and thank you so much for joining us. It's really important for us to remember that we have responsibility to other people who depend on us for strength, for encouragement. And that's not to say that you don't cry. You do all that. Now, the next thing I want to say is, when we navigate life's challenges, we need to remember the words of the great Winston Churchill. If you're going through hell, keep going. It might feel tough right now, and I'm reading it from my phone, but remember, you're on a journey, and this is just one chapter. I mean, the Bible says, and obviously this is not, I don't want to Bible bash it because this is, a Christian show, but I am a Christian, so I cannot not talk about that. The Bible says, that count it all joy when you go through diverse trials. It's in James, which means that all of us are going to go through all sorts of trials, some that we can share and some that we cannot share. But it's still something that we need to go through with grace. And talking about journeys, we need to also remember that extraordinary people or everyday women are doing extraordinary things around the world. I'm an everyday woman, you're an everyday woman, and I know that when I show up, wherever you are, whether you are in India, whether you are in Fiji, whether you are in Lagos, Nigeria, wherever you are, Ghana, Jamaica, wherever it is you are around the world, because I show up, I know that you will show up, and because you're showing up, someone else will show up, and it's like a ripple effect. And pardon my manners, do you want a cup of tea? Right, I'm going to have one now. Just, I'm feeling a little bit parched. Earl Grey. I don't know. For those of you who are watching, hope you have your cup of tea as well. I have Earl Grey today. Whew, thank you. Right, as I was saying. So when we have challenges as extraordinary women doing extraordinary things, and nothing is too little to be extraordinary. It doesn't have to be some big woof. For the fact that you show up every day in your household, wherever that might be, wherever that might be, whatever it is, you might be a farmer, a hairdresser, could be a doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be a homemaker. But I want you to understand that you are an everyday woman and you are doing extraordinary things. If you happen to be a mother, particularly if you happen to be a mother, you are doing extraordinary things, just nurturing the future generation, just being there for them. If you happen to be a single mother, I have absolute respect for single mothers. I happen to be one. I'm an older single mother now. My children are all grown up, but I can imagine and I know the challenges that single mothers go through. But you are an extraordinary woman. and you are doing extraordinary things. Don't measure the things that you do by what you see on social media. Measure it by what you are pouring into. If it's a child, if it's a career, if it's whatever it is that you do, you are extraordinary. It might be that you're sitting on the train and you see someone that looks really disheveled and heartbroken, and you give her a hug, or you ask, can I give you a hug? Is everything okay? And suddenly you break down barriers and she's able to open up, or he's able to open up and speak to you. And talking about curveballs, this is a funny curveball, really. Today, it's not really a curveball, but it made me laugh. I was in my local Tesco's. Like I said, I'm back in London and the weather is interesting, to say the least. And I went to my Tesco, the local Tesco's, just to get a couple of few things. And I was looking at the biscuits. I have no business looking at the biscuits, but I was just trying to cheer myself up, remembering about the curveball news that I've just heard, and thinking about how me and the other people who are involved in this particular situation, how we're kind of going to navigate it in the coming days, coming months, whatever this time might be. And there was this man who said hello, and he said to me, white man, lovely man with his walking stick. I I didn't think it was anywhere, maybe about 75, if that. And he said to me, oh, you shouldn't be standing here while you, and it made me laugh because it reminded me of my mom. I remember my dad, people of that generation, no political correctness. I'm like, why do you say that, sir? He said, well, I know I can't say. But for me, I can stand here. I said, why? So I'm 90 years old. I'm like, 90? He said, yes, I'm 90 years old. So it doesn't matter if I lose all my teeth or I put on weight, it doesn't matter. But for you, you're just a spring chicken. So that was his way of saying, don't buy the biscuits, you're overweight. And I laughed, and I still bought the biscuits. But it was funny to know that everywhere you go, you make an impression. We had a chat. He talked about I was wearing pink Crocs because I'm still in holiday mode. He talked about my Crocs, and it was just a lovely conversation. And even though he told me I shouldn't be buying biscuits and all that, it was still a lovely conversation. So I want you to know, wherever you are around the world, whether you're listening to this right now or on the replay, that you are doing extraordinary things. And if you think you're not, you do have the capacity to go outside your someone's saying cheeky man, he was 90 years old. But you do have the capacity to do extraordinary things, breaking down barriers. You could be cheeky, don't know, whoever you speak to, there'll be someone that needed to hear something that will make you laugh. When he spoke to me, he made me laugh. It made me laugh a lot, actually. And he reminded me about, my parents and the kind of things that they could exactly say the same things. And so another thing I need to talk about quickly, and this is not going to be my normal half an hour. For those of you that joined the first time round, you saw there were some technical issues, so I had to quickly come offline. But another thing I just want to share quickly that I think will be very helpful is that when life throws you or makes lemons, you make lemonade. We hear that before. Count it all joy when we go through diverse trials. I want us to use this time to really, you might not know her, but there's this lady, I never met her myself. I only read about her, as you see in the news. This wonderful lady, I forgot her. God, I've forgotten her name already. She was a kids company lady. She was 61 on her birthday, January the 1st, and she died. Now, for those of you that are in the UK, this lady was a charitable lady. I think she was originally from Iran, very colourful, more colourful than me, and she used to do lots of charity things for young people. And even on Christmas Day, she was wrapping presents for, the young people and all that. And, she lost the business, the charity or something, or she was removed because apparently they said there was inappropriate behavior, inappropriate management of the funds. But eventually she was found not guilty and all that. But the thing I'm saying is that she was 61 years old on the 1st of January. That's just a little bit older than me. Only just. What does that mean? It means that when life throws you curveballs, you still need to keep moving. Yes, she is dead. Yep. She died on the 1st of January. Yep. And, so when life throws you curveballs, you still need to go. The reason why I mentioned this lady, because she's literally, probably a week or so older than me in terms of birthdays. And she was always showing up. I didn't know what she was. I mean, I wasn't in her world. She was in. I mean, in the charity space as well. But she was doing, work, amazing work about regarding children. Very colorful lady. Very, very powerful in terms of social justice. You could not keep her quiet. So anyone that needed to know knew her, and she was showing up even on Christmas Day. She was ill in her home. When she died, she had her family around her. So I just want to use this time to, although I didn't know her, but I felt really sad. But I was also very proud of the way that she was showing up. So I want to encourage you, wherever you are around the world, if you have a birthday coming up, or happy birthday, wherever that might be. Well, it's January, so you've got the whole February, and it's a leap year, so you've got the whole year, whenever your birthday is. But even if you don't have a birthday coming up and your birthday's gone, I want you to keep showing up every day. I don't know what life is going to be in store for you. I don't know what curveball is going to come your way, but I can assure you without a shadow of a doubt that you will have at least one curveball, because that's what life is about. But even with those curveballs, I want you to show up. Like I said, I had to make a decision whether or not to show up today. But I started this on the 8th of December and I haven't missed any. And I thought, you know what? Even though my amazing guest said, Zina, I'll give you some space. And I'm really grateful for, her thoughtfulness and kindness. But I thought there are people around the world that need to hear this, that need to be encouraged, that have started watching and watch it on the replay. So I'm showing up with authenticity, so it's not always about, oh, see me, I'm amazing, I'm on top of the mountain. It's when you're in your lowest valley, you show up as well. So I just wanted to use this to encourage you, to say, if I can show up, so can you. To say that life is for the living, so live your life to the max. Tell your loved ones you love them. And no matter what's going on in your family, with your friends, tell them that you love them, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. It really isn't. So thank you so much for listening. Me, your wonderful host, Dr. Zee. And like I like to say, a cup of tea with Dr. Zee. And I'll pour another one out now. I've got lipstick all over my cup. Fantastic. And if you've got any comments, you can put them in the chat before I go. Oh, thank you. Beautiful. Right. Thank you very, very much. I hope you've enjoyed today. Now, it wasn't my normal way, but I am here kicking and laughing and alive and grateful that God has given me a voice. He's given me a platform. And I know that someone somewhere will use this to move forward and be able to live her life authentically too. It's about being true to you, and not only when you've got the makeup and the lashes on. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, hello, Bookie. Thank you as well. Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you for all your comments, and wishing you a happy new year. Show up the best way that you can. Yes, self-care. Absolutely. I like that. Self-care is really important. Absolutely. 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 Looking after all of us. Take care and God bless. Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for listening to A Cup of Tea with Dr. Zee, your reinvention queen. We hope you've been motivated and inspired to go out there and conquer any obstacles and issues you may face. You can find Dr. Zina on all social platforms. Until next time.